drying rack.
I'd be taking on a tour.
You know, you got
Oh,
every
you're a
little
little
thing you do
essential.
there.
All close to
You
the
know?
buzzing of what's going on, but you're in quiet little
If you
space.
come in, you've got a nice little table and chair and a bed.
I might find
Chair
a bed
needs a little
for
bit of
quickly.
work, but you know, you can't have everything. You know, and you walk out and you got a nice view of the peninsula and the SOS, the church, like a beacon of hope, and then just beside the church you got a nice little storage room, and you've got a little archery range so you can practice your archery.
Where's the gazebo?
Gazebo's here.
It's at
You
the
got a
right
nice
at the
little
corner.
gazebo.
Alright, cool. We haven't spawned
Storage
in one
room.
yet.
You got people who push you out of the way like a little bitch. And if you come over here to the left of the double-story cabin, you have a nice little boat.
Oh, very
Yeah,
lovely.
It's got a bed. It's got shelter. So if you get kicked out and you're sleeping in the doghouse for the night, you got nice shelter here. And you got a
Why'd you go from a one accent to a different one?
You did change. With a like, thank you.
You know, and you got plenty of garden beds, and you know, it's a bit finicky to get out. But once
You went from like a British accent to a really Australian accent. Now you're back to British.
once you get the hang of getting up here, it's no real problem at all. You know, you end up developing some real good abs. You know, you just go, ugh. And then on your way down, you know, you've got some nice little zip line. You've got a nice garden up here. Do some, you know, gardening, and you know, the neighbours are a bit noisy sometimes, but you know,
What can you expect?
if you push that to one side and you look at the amount that you're paying for an island escape, you'll find nothing like it. There's nothing better. You got a little zip line for the kids, keep them entertained. You know, you got birds, free food everywhere.
Australian though.
You know, well, when you stay on the island long enough, you start to develop, you know, a particular talk.
What is this thing she's got built here?
Where?
In Laura's room.
Oh, well, she's in this cabin, yeah, sure. Probably the most...
This is a bed.
It's a spare bed, okay? If you want to have guests over...
But how did she make that?
It's because she got the actual cabin blueprint she used to...
You know, it's comes with the cabin. I mean, the architecture in this staircase is a little... but, you know, we can always fix that later. You know, there's always a time. Now, the only thing you might need to worry about... There have been some complaints regarding the locals, just kind of... When things get a bit rowdy, they, you know, might come in your property a little bit more. But we've got these nice little fences set up that just... It's like a little shock collar for a dog, you know? They get too close, and they get a bit of a shock. Right? So, don't you worry too much about that.
Right, a bed.
Other than that, you've got upstairs above the little camp kitchen. You've got a nice little sitting range where you can put, you know, your skin. You can have a nice little chat by the fire with the kids. You know, it's not very child friendly, these stairs. They're a bit finicky, but
oh, my abs.
Not recommended for toddlers under 3.
And we allow cannibals.
Funny.
Listen, the locals have their own particular religion and why did it sound like someone did a
Someone did a what? Where are you going?
Are you good, Sam?
It sounded like someone did a shit. Anyway.
Did you hear that, Mal? Do you know what she's on about? Or is she like hearing voices again?
No. Anyway, back onto the tour. Yeah, there's only really 3 access points. You got the boat, so if you come from the sea, that's probably the safest one for the kids.
Yeah.
And then you got the zip line up there and the zip line up there. Now that one up there is a little more risky. I wouldn't leave your kid unsupervised going down that one.
It's because you can't slip with this is hilarious.
You know?
Can't look at you. Oh, God.
You got a problem?
It's because you were like looking up at me as well, which is, I don't know.
Oh, I'm actually pointing to the zip line over here. You know, this brick wall is actually just made out of styrofoam to catch your fall. It's not really, but we have to say that in the brochures so people don't call OH&S. But you know, it's perfectly fine. You know, kids are sturdy. You know, they'll get a bump and they'll walk.
They're resilient. That's it.
You know, you got a little path that kind of directs you. You know, it's a bit of a tripping hazard, if I'm honest, but you know, for the
it
price
can't be
you're
removed.
paying,
So.
for the you know, and this one just kind of the architecture, as I said, is a little questionable.
It keeps you guessing though.
But for the price you're paying for just 399 million a month, it's you won't find anything better. That's the best you're gonna get.
No.
All the doors have a lock. There's some nice drawings on the wall from the previous owners.
I have to say, I'm a real fan.
The reason they left.
I'm a real
is
fan of these two. About the bed.
Listen, if I'm completely honest, I'll give you a discount. Full disclosure, there was a murder. And the reason the last owners had to leave was because their kid needed psychiatric help. But that's all I'm gonna say. Due to confidentiality agreements, I cannot legally say a word.
I understand.
But if you look in the corner, you got a nice little skeleton for the kids' science class.
Or a sex doll for the parents.
I mean, if you're into that, go for it. There's plenty of holes in this thing. You won't be disappointed.
Okay, you need to stop that. I have a few questions.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to answer questions at the end of the tour.
Oh, I can breathe. Oh, God.
Now, just to the side here. Now, this is obviously personal choice. I personally think it suits. Please don't dig around. Please don't dig around in the garden until you own it.
I was planting some shit.
Please refrain from digging in the locals' garden. Please, the owners won't be happy. Now, this is simply
with this turtle over here.
Oh, you get a lot of animals here. You get lots of turtles. Sometimes might get the odd shark wash up. But don't you worry, they'll eventually just, you know, squidgy their way back into the ocean. But now here's a personal choice. The current inhabitants.
Definitely a choice.
They're artists. Okay? They're quite.
Oh my God.
They have a very interesting sense of art style. So this one, I think they called it the, where's the name on it? Let me have a look. Oh yes, the French finger.